Hey mathematicians, this is Mrs. Shopper coming to you with another new interesting topic. It's called literal equations, and it's not actually as new as one would think. A literal equation is one that has more than one variable, and you know what? You've already worked with them. For example, you've used the equation area equals length times width. That's a literal equation. It has more than one variable. It's got 3, okay? Or circumference is equal pi times diameter. That's a literal equation because it has more than one variable. Or how about distance equals rate times time? That's a literal equation. So what we're working with are equations that have more than one variable. And what we're working with today are going to be variables of x and y only. We're going to be working with only x and y, okay? So what we're going to do is this is using our equation solving skills and setting us up for graphing linear equations, okay? That's what we're doing right here. So the directions here say to solve each literal equation, and again, literal equation means more than one variable, for y. And what that means is we want to get each of these equations to say y equals, all right? Now, all along, we've been solving equations for a variable. We've been isolating a variable. We've been getting a variable by itself. The difference is we have more than one variable. That's the only difference. We still want to get that y all by itself. So let's walk you through some examples, okay? With this first one, my goal is to get y by itself, okay? So I need to peel away everything else. So I'm going to start by subtracting 3x from both sides, okay? So 6y is equal to negative 3x plus 12. And you could have written that as 12 minus 3x as well. That works just fine. And now I still need to get that y by itself, and so I'm going to undo it by dividing everything by 6. So divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6. These cancel out. So y is equal to, and I'm going to simplify now each of these fractions. Negative 3/6 is negative 1/2 x. Keep it in mind, I could have written it as negative 1x over 2, means the same thing. And then 12 divided by 6 is 2. This is rewriting that literal equation for y. I want to get it to y equals. So let's move these over. We're going to keep practicing this for a little bit. So I'm going to scoot this down about right like that. Okay, let's try another one. Right now, the equation is written as x equals. And what we want to do, though, is get it to y equals. So I'm going to get this y, this y all by itself. So I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. So I end up with x minus 16 is equal to 2y. Still want to get that y by itself. How do I undo multiplication? I divide both sides by 2, and I have to multiply every single piece by 2. Every piece by 2. And so I end up with y is equal to x divided by 2 minus 8, because 16 divided by 2 is 8. I could also write it as 1/2 x minus 8, because x divided by 2 and 1/2 x are the same thing. You pick what you want. It doesn't matter to me. Okay? Either way is fine. Let's take a look at the next one. I need to get y by itself. Y by itself. So I need to get this all alone. First thing I'm going to do is move that 4x. Okay, undo the adding and subtracting first. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. Now, 28 and 4x are different terms. They're not like terms, so they can't be combined. So it becomes 28 minus 4x equals 7y. And then to undo that multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by 7. And I have to multiply every single term by 7. So 4 minus 4x divided by 7 equals y. There's my answer. So I want you to stay in the same mindset of how do we solve equations? It's sick. We simplify, we isolate, we have to check. Here's the cool thing. Can't really check on this one, okay? And so we're going to be simplifying and isolating, getting that y all by itself, okay? So we're going to do a couple more, and then we're going to give you some time to practice. Here we go. We're going to write, so y is a function of x. That means we want to get y equals, okay? So we decided to hit, when we did literal equations, to keep it in one form. We just want y equals. We're not going to change that up for you at all. We're just working on y equals. And so when I look at this, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So 2y is equal to 3x minus 3. And then I'm going to undo that multiplication by dividing everything by 2. And I know it seems a little clumsy when we're having that x in the equation, but really it's getting us set up for when we're solving equations and graphing linear equations in the next few units. So we do have a method for the madness. We're getting there. All right, looking at this second one, we want to get y by itself. It's 1/2 times y. We're going to undo that 1/2 times y by multiplying everything by 2. Every term by 2. So y equals 14x plus 28. Y equals 14x plus 28. That's it. We got y by itself. That's our goal. And one more here. We've got y by itself. I'm going to undo x from both sides. So y is 15 minus x. All right. The next few days that we're going to spend, we're going to be doing some solving equations and reviewing and getting ready for our Unit 4 test. You've been fantastic. I know what we're doing is not easy. I appreciate your work. Keep going. You've got this. We'll chat with you soon. Take care.